Welcome back to Team Fast Eddy. Today we're going to cover page number 13 in the HPI Baja SS manual, and it's going to take care of using the bearing press tool, which we'll introduce you to and show you how to use, to put the bearings into the front hub as well as the assembly of the front hub. It's a very quick process and not very difficult, so we're going to try to go through it here rather quickly. What we're going to do before we get started here is introduce you to the Team Fast Eddy Pro Series bearing kit. It's an improvement and an upgrade over the stock bearings that come with the HPI Baja SS. We're really not quite sure what bearings they're using. However, the Team Fast Eddy bearing kit contains all the bearings that you're going to need for the entire build, as well as upgraded bearings, because there are several bushings that need to be replaced with bearings as well for the best operation. During this build, we're not substituting very many parts with aftermarket parts. However, the bearings are going to be replaced, and we are going to use the Team Fast Eddy bearings in this build. So Team Fast Eddy bearings are available at your favorite Baja or large scale outlet. We're going to start off this portion of the tutorial with the bearing press tool. It's located in your tools bag, and it's a separate little bag, and there are actually 4 parts to it, and it's a simple unit to use. The 4 parts are the press that has the wing nut on it, the press side that does not have a wing nut, and a nut and a bolt. Very simply going to put the nut into the back area of the wing nutted portion of the press, and it's just going to go ahead and slide right in there. The bolt is going to go through the other side. If you take a look, there's a side that has a notch, or a drop down on it, so you're going to want to put the bolt in from the top where it's sunk in. Very simply, we're just going to put the bearings on in between them, and we're going to spin it on, and it's going to press the bearings into where they need to be pressed. Sometimes you need to use this tool with the SS, and sometimes you don't. We'll show you how to either use it or not use it. So we're going to go ahead and set this aside over here so it doesn't get lost, and go ahead and start setting our parts out that we're going to need. We're going to start off with the front hubs. There's 2 of them, and they are located on the tree number 85408, and we're going to use in this step part 1. So let's go ahead and use our nippers and take that off the tree. And we're going to do the same for the second part. We're going to go ahead and file the rest of these trees, which still have 3 parts left on them. And again, there's 2 of them. So we're going to go ahead and file those back over in our box for the next page when we're going to need these. Just a little bit, we're going to remove the additional flashing and pieces, which include this big circular piece is going to have to come off, as well as the dot that's on here, and we're going to want to trim down the place where we took it off the tree to make it all nice and smooth, but we'll do that in just a little bit. We are also going to need bag A again, and in bag A for this step we're going to take out the ball studs. We're not going to be using those in this step. However, we are going to be using the rest of the pieces from bag A, which consist of the 2 front wheel hubs, extenders there, and we are going to open up the package of nuts and bolts and put those into our tray, because we will be using parts out of there. So we're going to open that up, go ahead and put it into our tray. And then the bearings, if you're using the stock bearings, go ahead and take those out and put them in your tray. If you are using the Team Fast Eddy bearings, go ahead and set these off to the side. It's always great to keep them in your toolbox. You never know when you're going to need an extra set. We're going to open up the Team Fast Eddy kit, and in the tube here is the proper size. We're going to go ahead and remove 4 of those bearings and set them off to the side here so that we can use them in this step. We are also going to be using parts number 85422, and if you're following along with our video, it's going to be really easy for you to find. There's 2 bags of 85422, and out of that bag we're going to be using part number 85422-3. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trees here. And I like to actually keep everything in the bag while I'm searching for my part numbers. And we're looking on the tree for part 3, which is this part right here. On the tree there's 2 squares, and it's the 3rd part, so it's right there. And we're going to go ahead and seal up our Ziploc baggie again, because there are parts that are falling off these trees and we don't want to lose them. And we're going to go ahead and locate part number 3 in this bag and take it out off the tree, seal it back up, and file it away so that we can find them easily next time. It's an interesting part, and it's kind of hard to see what it really looks like in the manual, so we'll show it up close here. On the top portion it's flat with a hole. On the side it's got a ridge, and in the back it has an area to press your nut into. So that's what the part looks like, and there's 2 of those. So we're going to go ahead and set them out along with our wheel hubs, and we are also going to need the 2 of the 7mm C-clips, which are the larger C-clips. Let's go ahead and set those aside. And we're going to need 2 nuts to press into here. And let's take a look and see where those are located. Those should be an M5 lock nut. Well, guess what? I am not seeing them in the tray here. So I'm going to go on a parts hunt and see where I can find them, and we'll get back on that one. So we're going to go ahead and put our last 2 remaining pieces back into our bag A, and we're going to go ahead and file that back so we can find it later. I'm going to shut off the video and going to trim up the parts that we're going to install, get them all arranged on my table. And last but not least, I've lost my nuts. Gonna have to go see if I can find them, and I'll be right back. Alright, well, got all our pieces trimmed up. We did a little bit of investigative work, and maybe some of you people that have been following my video exactly as we're doing it, step by step, found an error that I made back in page 8. So I can say I lost my nuts on page 8, and we've been looking for them ever since, and we're on page 13 now. Back in step 8, I instructed you to install nuts into the very front portion of the bulkhead here, and as I go back and look at the instructions, I was wrong, because the instructions did not say to put them there.